This past weekend, we went out to Fishers, Indiana, and I got to compete in the first annual Force Barbell Fall Strongman Classic. A bit of a mouthful. I didn't get to train for the competition the way I wanted to. I think I hit half of the events once, one of the events never, and the other event I'd done in the past. I was really confident going into it for the first event. I'd hurt my back about a week prior, so I knew deadlifts were going to be an issue, and having them as the second event in the competition, I knew was going to kind of not set me up for success, but I was optimistic and really had a good time. We ran into a lot of our customers out there, Strength Rep customers, specifically Stephanie Diss. We ran into her, and she actually won her class, so congratulations to you for that. So this is just my, I guess, review and feedback and reflection on the whole event and how it went for me. So, log press was the first event. I'm pretty good at pressing, significantly better than people that probably bench about the same as me. Surprisingly so. I don't practice it a lot, but it's always been something I've been pretty good at. So the log press weight was 225, I believe. I took first place in that event with 13 reps. Second place took 10, and the bulk of the 16 people in my weight class took between 5 and 7 reps, I believe. The hardest part for me with that is just breathing with a lot of weight on my chest. I got to my 13th rep, tried to catch my breath, set the log down. I still had, I think, 15 seconds. I cleaned it up and went to press again. Actually set it on my beard, so couldn't get good position or breathe there either. So just put it down and stopped with a little time left. Was pretty happy with the 13 reps there. Deadlift warm-ups were pretty dreadful as expected. I tried 3 plates on the axle and it moved terribly slow. I think I got 3 reps at 3 plates. And then the platform weight was 500 pounds for as many reps as you could get in the 1 minute time frame. I knew someone had already zeroed on it, so I knew if I got one, I'd at least not take last, and that was kind of my goal going into it. I was able to grind out 6 really slow, painful reps. I maybe could have gotten one more, but I think it would have really completely laid me up for the day. But from that point on, the rest of the day was dedicated to mobility and just being able to stay loose enough and mobile enough to compete in the other events. So you can see I switched belts halfway through my warm-up, trying to just get as much pressure as possible, anything I could do to stabilize my spine. I knew this was going to be the deciding factor in my day, but definitely surprised myself and the people that I was with when I got more than the one. So pretty happy with how that went overall.
Yes.
I was really lucky to have some of my powerlifting team out there with me. Dot and Jared. Jared's actually another strength coach. And they were out there with me, and they were able to help try and keep me moving, keep me mobile, stretch me out. We had a Theragun. Here he's actually Jared is rubbing icy hot on my back or some type of muscle rub. Just anything we could do to just keep me upright and above ground to be able to finish the competition. Gonna skip forward here a little bit while he plays with my butt. Coming into the third event, the keg carry and sled drag, I was the only competitor who was Googling how to do this before we actually did it. Everyone else is warming up, and I actually pulled up Cale Beck's how to carry a keg video and watched that like 90-second clip. and just put my belt on, made sure I could pick it up, and didn't really warm up for it per se, but made sure I knew how to hold it, and just decided to run it out from there. I was pretty happy with my performance on this one. I really think I gave my all. I moved pretty quick. It didn't hurt too bad. When I got to the sled, it was a lot more tiring. It hurt a lot more in my quads than I anticipated it to. It just burned. I took off from the get-go. Here you can see. Undid my belt so I could breathe. And I took off pretty well and maintained momentum, but about halfway through I burned out. My legs started to really burn towards the end, and I fell going across the finish line. Luckily, had enough speed on the sled to have it coast through the line, but it took me a good amount of time to fully recover from this one. My legs were burning. I was noodle legging it for a little bit, wobbling around, so it was pretty rough. But I was happy with my performance because it hurt the burn. My back was good with this, but I knew I did well, or as well as I could, because of how I felt after it. So the only event I wasn't happy with my performance on, and not because of my back, but just because I feel like I could have still pushed myself even in the situation, was the yoke carry. I've sprinted with this weight on my back before. I've carried significantly heavier, and the upright position doesn't typically aggravate my back as much as the bent over from the deadlift. So I really think I could have pushed myself more in this. I don't know if it was a mental block or if I was just exhausted overall, but I know at the end of this event I wasn't as taxed as I was on the other three, so I could have pushed myself a little harder. Might not have changed anywhere on where I finished, but I definitely could have put a little more into it. I dropped the yoke once towards the end and was about an inch short, added a few seconds of time, but again, where I was in the lineup, I don't think it was that drastic of a difference in the whole finishing order. So at the end of it, again, 16 people in my weight class. I took 5th overall, which is pretty good. This is my 4th strongman competition, my 2nd one this year. My goal was to podium because the top 3 qualify for nationals. I wanted to give myself as much time as possible to train specifically for the national meet in the national competition in somewhere this year. U.S. Strongman Nationals in like Minnesota, I think. But afterwards, finishing 5th, all things considered, finishing in general, I was happy with. Again, huge thanks to everyone who was there supporting me, keeping me mobile throughout the day, helping me recover after. The guys out at Force Barbell for putting on a great event, and giving me donuts at the end. Donuts make everything better. The drive home was terrible, but at least I had donuts to keep me happy, so that helped out. So definitely looking forward to my next competition. I don't have one on the books yet. Right now it's just rehab and get back up moving. Hopefully by next week I'll be able to get out of bed unassisted. So we'll go from there. But I know there's a couple competitions coming up in the coming months, and hopefully I can get back out there and just keep doing it and keep moving forward. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions about how I got into strongman, how you could train for events, because I didn't, because I suck like that, or any suggestions on how to train or competitions you're doing, please let me know. I'll be happy to hear about it. If you're local, we get together, train for them together. So look forward to your comments, and thanks again. Stop?
No. Record button.
Record button.
You hit it?